Hi guys, Piotr here. This is LiteFinance Global YouTube channel. It's my pleasure to be with you again. It's end of the month, so what we are going to do, we are going to discuss a few FX pairs when it comes to the short-term possible price action end of the month, beginning of the last month of the year. So I'm very exciting. I'm very curious what's going to happen because it's inflation, it's the new COVID variant, so plenty of possible action. What you have to remember for the first 10 up to 14 days of the December, we are going to have usual volume, then the volume is going to dry up a bit towards the end of the year. Well, that's the weekly chart, and because of the big breakdown to the downside, I'm talking about breaking the level through 1450, 1350, I'm quite bearish towards the end of the year, right? So if we were discussing previously that was a little bit some kind of the range, we might see, as you can see here, that's what we agreed on last time. When it comes to the bear side, we might even try to test 110, 109.50. Well, this bearish scenario is going to be valid as long as we are below 1570, 1650 when it comes to the weekly close. So what I'm looking for, medium short term, I'm looking to sell some kind of the, eventually rally some kind of the profit taking of the latest move to the downside, all right, because it's quite huge. It could be related to that top and to that range over here and that breakout candle. So in that case, we are talking about the bottom around 1450, 1440 as the first supply level, right? Of course, on the other side of the market, when it comes to the bullish price action, well, the Friday price action, it was some kind of the profit taking based on that particular range we have over here, all right? So we do have a chance to see eventually some kind of the creation of the swing low, and as long as we are above 1250, 112, right, the jump, the price action to the upside could be in place. So the possible targets 1350, but if you are looking for a selling opportunity, I would wait for the levels close to 114, and then if we are going to hit that level and move higher, so this range over here, this breakthrough 1640 as a next supply level ahead of the retest of 110, 1950. That's how I see the things here. If we are going to close above 1640, 1650, then this type of the price action could be in place. So that's the significant level and zone. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the daily chart on the euro dollar. And as you can see, what has happened lately is nothing else, just the retest of this latest supply. I'm talking about this zone over here, right? If and when we are going to break through that level, right? That's the latest weakness, guys. That's what we are discussing very often. So if we are going to go higher, then the levels we were discussing previously, the higher levels up towards even 116 could be in place, 1570, 1640, 50 as a possible target, right? So what I'm looking for, the first thing first, is the failure somewhere around this latest weakness, right? So I'm looking for this 1440 to see some kind of the failure ahead of the continuation to the downside, okay? And intraday price action, well, looks like I might, based on intraday price action, based on some kind of the scalping strategy, it could be that I might be interesting if we are going to try to go tomorrow and test 1240, all right, I might be interested to try to go long, right? I want to see stop count below today's low retest of the latest weakness over here, right? Let me show you again. Latest weakness, retest, never been tested. A stop count based on the today's low. A nice possible price action overnight, and then I would target 1350. Why 1350? Because that's the nice supply over here. So that's euro dollar. That's what I'm looking for. I'm bearish, medium, short term. But well, if I'm going to see some positive price action based on what we discussed latest weakness, I might take some kind of the long as well. All right, so let's switch to the cable. All right, and let's start with the weekly as well here. Okay, and those lower shadows here, a situation is a little bit different. If you are looking for these lower shadows over here, and this latest weakness, this amazing latest weakness when it comes to the 2020 late February, beginning of March, right? That's where I see the possible demand based on the weekly chart. So that's the blue zone over here, and that's the zone. All right, we are talking about the levels close to 132, 130.80. All right, and I'm looking for the possible bullish activity around this level. All right, it could be like this, and some kind of the spike towards 34, for example, from here. All right, and when it comes to the supply based on the weekly chart, well, I think that if you are going to take into the consideration all those highs over here and this breakout to the upside, then the possible supply when it comes to the cable lays around, I would say here we are talking about the levels close to 35.40, 35.50 and 70. So that's the cable and the weekly chart. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the daily chart. All right, looks like as of now it could be that we are going to have some kind of the move within the downward channel. So again, if we are going to see the stop count below yesterday low, today's low, Friday low, and we are going to have some kind of the doji formation over here, that could be the possible long setup and the riding towards 35. For me, I would prefer to see the test of that zone, right? But well, you know, triple doji, that could produce some profit taking rally back towards 35, 35.40 and 35.70. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the intraday price action. So we've seen the low last Friday. There was an attempt to go lower. We actually quite didn't hit that level. So again, we might see attempt to stop count by tomorrow, and then depends on the price action we are going to see. It could be some intraday long setup. But because of what we've seen lately, right, because of this move to the downside, I truly believe that 33.80, 34, if we are going to see some kind of the bearish setup over here with the failure through these liquidity levels, right, in between 33.70, 33.90, that could be the possible supply zone when it comes into the intraday price action. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, when it comes to the intraday trading, looking for both sides to be tradable. All right. All right, dollar is dominating the market lately, but when it comes to the dollar yen, we've seen some kind of the failures, and especially last Friday, we've seen huge supply taking over. And to be honest with you, if you are going to look for what has happened, right, all those upper shadows we've seen previously around this level, with the price action we've seen lately, right? It's a weekly, so we are looking for the green color, blue color, sorry. All right. So that's the failure. That's the failure. Now let's have a look what we have lower. And if you are a buyer, right, most probably you are waiting for the levels close to 1,112, and then again around 180, right? So that could be based on the weekly chart and the demand zone. If you are a seller, you are looking the retest for 114.50, maybe a little bit higher, and you wanna fade that possible rally. Let's have a look what we have on a daily chart. Okay, huge and monster supply. So that's the supply zone over here. So shy of 114.50. So that's my level when it comes to the supply. It could be, as you can see guys, it could be based on a daily chart, it could be that we might drew some head and shoulder. And if you are a fan of this type of the price action, all right, then you are doing your measure, you are doing your homework, you're doing your own research, you are doing the measuring between the neckline and the top of the that price action, and looks like the 180 could be the possible target in case of this head and shoulder pattern. So if you are a bullish, you are looking for a deeper pullback. If you are a seller, then 114.50, that's your level, that's your zone when it comes to the supply. When it comes to the intraday price action, right, a little bit higher towards 114.80, that could be the name of the game if we are going to see some kind of the spike, and if we are going to start to look for upper shadows up towards 115, that could be our intraday zone when it comes to the supply level. No change when it comes to the demand level. Guys, we were discussing three top majors, euro dollar, cable, and dollar yen. I wish you a great next trading day. Do your own homework, do your own research. Don't try to chase the market. Wait for the price to come to you. With that being said, guys, be careful, take care, goodbye, and see you around.